have to chase what seems impossible over and over and over again. Because the starting fives for our game. I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
And the conversation turned to how they plan to slow down Danny Granger. He said Danny's so tough because of his length, mobility, and shooting ability. You've got to play up and then try to surprise him with double teams. Make him a passer. Makes sense, Kevin. Back to you.
And as always, Doris, thank you. And Gibson kicks the butt. .130 left to play in the first. Outside Dan. Shot clock at 6. Let's go. Shot misses. Great D that time from Ball.
Take a look at the rebound totals, guys. That's +5 now on glass.
And Steve, I don't think there's any question which team came out with more energy and enthusiasm.
Outside Rose. Goes off the bit for Muhammad. Outside Rose. Hit them clean. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. That gives them the lead. 7 points for Dick.
How about that nice 1-2 punch there? That's great defensive play, and of course, it leads to the great basket in transition.
Love the attacking style there, Steve. Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the goal should be their first option every time. Now, force the defense to adapt and adjust.
And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Chicago. There's 31 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance now for a 3-point play. Pacers have shot 80% from the lines and are going 4 of 5 so far.
Well, they were 75% free throw shooting a season ago.
Now here's Teague. He's tightly guarded. Paul George, he's checked in for Orlando Johnson. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Heinrich passes to Noah. Gets it to go. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Inside to Hibbert. Stolen by Boozer. Now Heinrich. Teague for 3. It's a tie game in Indiana. Tune in Friday, November 8th. Rudy Gay and the Toronto Raptors. And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
Now, the key has been the rebounding department. This club dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done 2 things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
Down low, rest to Hibbert. George and Granger on the corner. And it's Ball in at the point. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, he just Bulls had won the Central each of the last 2 seasons, but were unable to make it 3 in a row as the Pacers grabbed the Central Division title last season. Still, considering the injuries, the Bulls had a good run. Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Pass to Granger. Kicks to Hibbert. The turnaround Jay, and again it's Indiana. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Gibson setting the pick for Noah. He feeds it to Rose. Pocket 6. It's rebounded by Indiana. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Tell you what, the way they shot the ball that game, Kevin, it looked like a shoot-around out there.
It sure did, and all the more impressive because they did it on the road. You're not supposed to be able to get that out in an opponent's building. You know, when Danny Granger was out with injury last season, he saw that the Pacers team had become really Paul George's and Roy Hibbert's team as they became the new faces. While some would throw a fit about it, Granger said he was proud of them and happy to take a lesser role. He just wants to get back out there.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Thanks, guys. Big Cat in their last game against the Pistons was just phenomenal. He finished with 48 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. Numbers like that are rare to see by any player in a game he'll always remember.
Great, Doris. Thanks. And a chance we see him top that performance at Clark here tonight.
I'd say no chance, partner. And that's not a knock against him. It's just that he was so good that night. I don't think he can possibly do it 2 games in a row.
He was Kellogg'ian. Is that a word? We can use that word.
It is now.
Oh, look at Steve. He didn't like that.
Well, let's just say he was really good.
And when Granger is up, Steve, he's certainly a great player.
Well, you love his versatility, his ability to play both ends of the floor. A tough defender who can guard multiple positions. Offensively, he can put it on the floor, get to the rim, and he's got 3-point range. But really an excellent all-around player.
Here's ball. And again, it's Indiana. And guys, what do you think about the hustle squats here for Indiana?
Well, Kevin, in the first half of play, they're really closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity defensively.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
And Indiana, another 3.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
Now here's Rose, defended by Ball. Rejected by Ball.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Played into the last touch off the glass. Big Cat's got 26 points.
Yeah, guys, it's his consistent shooting that's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
Outside Rose. Puts the lead pass in front of him. No good from Gibson. Last game for the Bulls, it was a loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And guys, had their free throw shooting been anywhere near up to par, I think it would have changed everything in that game.
No doubt about it. I mean, there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line. It infiltrates other parts of your game.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Roy Hibbert's checked in for West. Paul George comes in for Danny Granger. And it's Watson in for George Hill. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Teague dishes to Dunley. The pass to Boozer. He kicks to Heinrich. They can't stop the run with that one. Here's Ball. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. And that's 31 points for Big Cat.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to look for those good looks.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Pacers lead by 14. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We're in the early stages of
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Big.
Outside Rhodes. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. And it's blocked by Ball. Fades and shoots. It's all in by Luol Deng. Chicago leading. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home.
You know, some really good games going on today, guys. And the one that captures my eye is the Utah one.
You know, Frank Vogel is one of the youngest head coaches in the NBA, and in college at Kentucky, he pestered the coaches relentlessly until they gave him a role as a student manager for the Wildcats. And that determination and resolve has served him well as he's worked himself into an outstanding head coach in the NBA.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, Roy Hibbert is pretty good friends with Tim Duncan. Hibbert recalls when they met. He said, I met him when I was a kid during the 2001 NBA All-Star Game in D.C. He actually remembers that moment. We share scouting reports on other teams. It's just a friendship. I learned from him, and you know, he's the best. So I don't know if he picks up anything from me, but I definitely learned from him. Kevin, a great tutor for the young Hibbert.
Hard to think of a better mentor for Roy than the great Tim Duncan. Thanks, Doris. The shot's good from Ball. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Pacers.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
They get the rebound.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
The 17-footer goes down. Big Cat's got 38 points. And for Vogel, an assistant for 10 years in the NBA, and when a coaching turnover moved him into the interim head coaching position in 2011, Steve, he grabbed the reins and didn't look back.
No, he didn't. The results speak for themselves. The team's responded to him. The organization has shown its faith in Coach Vogel, giving him an extension. And he led that club to a deep playoff run a year ago, one game from the finals.
Puts it up. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense has done, they haven't been able to find an answer.
And it's Indiana's ball. Right now, they're a 9-0 run. George and Rozier in the corner. Low, West and Hibbert, and it's both in at the 1 spot. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Bulls trail by 9. Outside Rose. Rose off the bit from Noah. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. No good from Gibson.
You know, they built their lead here by doing all the little things well.
And one of those things has been rebounding, Clark, because they have really come out and taken control of the boards.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
Butler, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so here's Chicago, and it's George finishing it off.
Impressive play there. They have been really good offensively.
Piling up the points en route to this big lead, guys. I mean, they've been unstoppable.
Butler gets to Rose. That's good. Rose has got 5 points now this quarter.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
This is Danoa. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Here's Ball. A stupendous finish in traffic. Big Cat's got 46 points.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
No, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out to the perimeter, make them beat you from long range. That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Lets the three fly, and Indiana, another three.
Boy, he's putting up big numbers in that three-point column, guys.
Bulls trail by 14. Outside Rose. Shot is off. Granger with the defensive effort. Here's Ball. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Big Cat's got 51.
Well, the number one priority for defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And one of his other great qualities, Steve, is his quick trigger off the dribble. I mean, he can get his shot off in an instant, a nanosecond.
Goes up on the top of the key. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Big Cat's got 53.
Well, he scored over half of their points so far. That's a major contribution.
Rose attacking, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Taj Gibson. 1:52 left to play in the final quarter. Dang with the bucket.
Perfect inbounds pass and an easy 2 points.
Pacers leading by 14. Here's Ball. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. .143 left in the fourth quarter. Poked loose. Now the Pacers moving it up. All the way.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
Hey, Clark, power on the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that. Look at that. Bring him down the house. Now that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
There's 1:17 left in the fourth quarter. He dishes it to T. A shot no good. So the Pacers will take it the other way.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And I'll tell you what, they've turned a lot of those rebounds into points at the other end.
Heinrich kicks the tee. Back to Heinrich. 50 seconds left in the fourth. Heinrich off a pick from Murphy. 6 to shoot. They need this. Muhammad, no good. Indiana's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. Pass to Hill. Here's Big Cat. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
You got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys. Defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
It's Murphy outside. That's good. And so Teague with the assist.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the three.
Ball. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
Yep, he's their leading scorer, Kevin, in this game, and has been the dominant figure today. No doubt about it.
Here's Teague. No good there. So no problem for Indiana.
We make it cool to be sucked. It's got to be a great feeling setting the team record for points tonight. How does it feel to achieve such an accomplishment?
It's pretty nice. I feel like I was in the zone all night long. My teammates kept getting me the ball, and before I knew it, I was having a crazy game. I didn't even realize I'd broken the team record until now, though. Really cool, especially considering everyone who came before me, man.
It's an Eastern Conference matchup as the Toronto Raptors come to town for this one. And as is right.
We on? Alright. 1, 2, 3, go!
Waking up in a dream, sleepwalking on another big stage. You never heard peace till you hear people scream your name in unison. I'm so far away from the place I used to be, struggling usually. Look at the new me, fate pursuing me. I can feel the energy in the air. It feel like I'm supposed to be here.
Everywhere I go, I'm getting so much love. Fans and stars, everyone saying how they can't wait for your peace. And I'm gonna blow, they believe in me. Feel so good in what you do. Help somebody else get through. That's why I do the best I can, because I know how blessed I am. I'm so high, I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better.
A fool if I take it all for granted. A smart man if I keep my feet planted to the earth. Cause the people that hurt can understand it. You speaking outlandish, I'ma show you how to make it all work. Another planet is a short-term goal for me. A record soul for me. It's just more of me and you're here. For you to hear Kendrick persevere. Defenses I feel relentless. Ambition with a clear vision. Taking off, I ain't taking off these pistons. I'm taking off on the enemy. Your distance came across me. How much it cost me to get you out my business. I said a planet is a short-term goal. No sky is the limit. I'm past that, now past that. Award not 1 but 4 times 2 plus yours.
I see myself performing there.
K-Dot.
Sold out shows where the room is packed. Sitting at the Grammys winning 5 awards. See myself on big billboards. Traveling around the world with endorsement deals. Can't imagine how it feels. That's why I'm smiling every day, because my dream ain't full.
Oh, yeah.
That is the way you get your team fired up. I'd say they're anxious to get this one started. We're live, the home of the Chicago Bulls, the United Center. The starting 5s for our game. And here are the Bulls now. Gibson setting the pick for Noah. Dunleavy dishes to Noah. Passes it to Heinrich. Back to Noah. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Here's Gibson. He's coming off a 19-point game against Toronto. On the clock. Here's Heinrich. Danny Granger pulls it in.
A bit of an odd year for Kirk Heinrich, who normally is a very efficient player, but started off last season shooting way below his career norms from the floor. Ran the team pretty well, but it's kind of strange to see him shoot so poorly.
What beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I was able to speak with Frank Vogel for a minute. They've had success against this team, winning their one matchup of the season, but he's not getting complacent, and his first order of business has been readying them to score against such a tough shot-blocking presence inside. He said in a game like this, we can't turn down good perimeter looks. We've got to be aggressive getting to our looks and try to track down our misses. Guys, let's see how it works.
Thank you, Doris, and quite a focus for the game here early on, and an important one too, guys.
Yeah, they know how tough a task it's going to be to take on this defense. They've got to focus on that aspect right away.
Well, that's the priority in the scouting report. You face a team this good defensively, you're thinking about how we need to attack it. And then it's a matter of executing once you get out there.
And then here we go. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. 10's got 9. And going back to Heinrich, more of a jump shooter offensive. Sometimes that shot can come in, of course, you don't go.
Yeah, he's not the scorer that he once was in his younger days, but the main attribute for Heinrich is his defense. Just an incredible defender, great footwork, fundamentals, anticipation, and much stronger than he looks. He can guard ones and twos.
Boozer kicks to Rose. And stolen at the block. But they recover it. Second chance shot. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. But at the end of one, both teams put.
Coming up next Wednesday night, November 20th, the Indiana Pacers.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Pacers.
Well, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
You know, adding on to that, they've done a great job of challenging and changing shots in this first half, and they've gotten some blocks as well.
D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the backup. Danny and Boozer, they made up the forwards. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Big Cat's got his third basket of the night.
Tell you what, it's hard to argue with the record for Coach Tom Thibodeau of the Bulls, but the rumor mill has it that the front office hasn't been happy with how hard he's ridden his top players. Luol Deng missed time last season with the hamstring injury. Joakim Noah came down with plantar fasciitis. Hey, those things happen, and I'm not quite sure you can put that at the feet of Tom Thibodeau.
The finger roll finish at the bucket. Big Cat's got 8 points.
Great move to the hoop, and I love the finger roll finish.
Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Muhammad, guarded by Stoa, and they'll pass it to Dunleavy. Heinrich outside. Fires for 3. The shot is off, and Indiana will go the other way with it. And going back to Tom Thibodeau and that minutes load on his stars, it seems it's getting harder for players to weather big minutes, Steve, these days.
I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see this Bulls team this year and beyond. Will that wear them down? Their guys play too many minutes. They've had a lot of injuries. I think it's time to scale back a little bit on the minutes played.
Outside Murphy. Good! Murphy's got himself on the board with 3 there.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Here's Ball. Boom! He jams it straight down. He can fly, can he? He'll make you forget he's a point guard sometimes.
Yeah, when he does decide to attack the basket, Kevin, he can do it with the best of them.
And this is the time to attack with these two teams locked in such a close game.
Stolen by Granger. Out on his own on the break. And again, it's Indiana.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm. Well, I tell you what, you consider all the injuries the Bulls had last year, and you look at the 34-18 mark against the Eastern Conference, and it's absolutely remarkable considering what they had to go through personnel-wise.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Big Cat, guarded by Heinrich. Here's Ball. No luck. Great D that time from Kirk Heinrich. And back to the Bulls in the East. It wasn't just one guy who stepped in the shoes of Rose or the departed Asha. It was a group effort.
You know, you looked at the roster last year, you kind of scratch your head. You go, how is this team going to get to the second round without Derrick Rose? But they did it with a group of role players, with a front line that was tough and nasty and rebounded well, and with great coaches, too.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
the Bucks put together a nice one. He finished with 15 points and was on the mark from deep, draining several threes. This was a big win for him and his team as they snap a losing streak with that win, guys.
All right, thanks, Doris. He's got a lot of positives to take away from that game. Clearly, Steve.
Yeah, he played a huge role for them. And his contributions are always important, but I thought he was particularly good that night.
Yeah, he was very solid. Just really locked in, engaged, on task. Solid performance tonight.
At this break in the action, we can show you the teams that had the most rebounds last season. Number 1, the Pacers.
Yeah, they had a really strong presence in the paint. Very physical, really dominated the lane area in terms of rebounding the basketball.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Fires from 18. Buries the jump shot. Big Cat's got 19 points.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Rose against Hill. Rose gets the bucket. Rose has got 6 points.
He's gutsy. That's what I really respect about him. It seems like the more pressure there is, the more he enjoys the moment. So he is the guy you want taking the big shot at the end of a game.
I tell you what else I like is his attacking mindset too, Steve. No matter where he is on the court, when he gets possession, he will turn it up and turn it on and run out. Most of the time, he doesn't stop until he's laid the ball in the hoop.
Off his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. Indiana making some changes.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome, fans.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And arguably no greater sporting legend in Chicago history than Hall of Famer Michael Jordan as we see the statue erected in his honor. We're seeing a tremendous game here from Big.
Yeah, it seemed like he made
a touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Score, a screen on Rose. West with the ball. He's picked up by Down.
and he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
You got to love the season from David West last year, coming off the ACL tear back in 2011. I think he's completely back as far as that injury is concerned. He was so good last year, particularly in the playoffs.
On the court for Indiana. Ball, he's in at the point. West out there with Chris Cope. Then it's Watson, and it's Stola in at the 5 down low.
Feels like a flip has been switched at halftime because both teams now really getting after it.
And it's been a fun half of basketball, Steve.
Outside Rose. Back to Boozer. He passes it to Gibson. Fades. Goes back up. Rose. David West grabs the miss. West has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Ball. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. And David West, Clark, a locker room leader for the Pacers last season, helped lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a guy I know that you greatly admire.
Oh, my goodness. Love the way he does his work. I call him Real Deal 21. There's nothing fluffy about what he gets done, and he's so smart and so savvy in how he approaches the game, and really a lion in the locker room for the Pacers. That's why that team was so tough in many ways, particularly defensively.
Teague for three. Gibson slams it back in. And the Bulls lead by 4.
He could have tipped it home, but he wanted to give this crowd something to remember.
Dynamic work right there. Throw down that rebound.
Yes, sir.
No need to back it out if you're in position for the dunk.
Covered by Gibson. Teague. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And so here is Indiana. Just 5 on the clock. Granger, good.
Talk about doing Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on. You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. Tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. 8th in rebound, 8th in assists. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And what stands out to me, Clark, is what you just talked about is the rebounds, because this is a very physical team, and they like to try to bully their opponent at both ends of the floor. On the defensive glass, they were excellent, and then offensively, on missed shots, they really got after it and tried to get second chance points.
Paul George, he's checked in for Indiana. Hill comes in for C.J. Watson. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Gentlemen, in a lot of ways, Joakim Noah is the heart of this Bulls team. Coach Tom Thibodeau said, quote, he's an all-star, and I can see him winning Defensive Player of the Year. But the most important thing is he plays to win. He can have 5 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks, and he's happy because we won. Guys, Derrick Rose said it best. He's a warrior, and everybody is following him.
Thanks, Doris. He's such a character. So good. Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the Raptors.
It was an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it was on the road. No question, by the way, that it was their offense that carried.
Steve, I love the way they attacked at every opportunity. They never were on their heels, and eventually that allowed them to pull away.
On the wings, Butler and Dan, Gibson and Boozer in the middle. And it's Rose in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Boy, he's making it look really easy right now. I expect him to continue to run the offense through him until the defense makes him change plans.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Dan goes in. Boozer, no luck.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot. He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Outside Rose. Outside Dan. Outside Dan. That's good. Tenning's got 9 points here in the second half. The Pacers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Here's Paul. And the Pacers another 3.
He's showing no signs of letting up here.
Fourth quarter of play. We're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. George against Butler. Back to Gibson. Rose. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Bulls lead by 1.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
The defense has been futile with 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Butler defended by Ball. Butler dishes to Rose. 6 on the shot clock. And the Bulls take on 2 more.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Here's Ball. And the Pacers another 3.
This is incredible. It's been a three-point barrage since halftime.
Yeah, whether by design or by accident, it has been impressive.
Rose kicks to Gibson. He dishes it to Butler. Whistle blows. If that's going to be a travel.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Chicago making a switch here. Noah's checked in. Here's Ball. It's hauled in by Noah. Noah's got 4 rebounds in this game. Chicago's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark. Shooting the 3-ball well. Butler kicks it to Noah. The Pacers beat them last time when these 2 teams met in Indiana.
Yeah, it was a big loss. Pretty much pure domination. And I thought the key was the rebounding total. I mean, it was ugly. They were completely dominated on the glass. That's going to have to improve tonight.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, Kevin. Tom Thibodeau had some words for his team in that last huddle. He urged his players to keep fighting, saying, "We're right there, but the margin of error has shrunk. We've got to play aggressive and smart." Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Shots good from Ball. Steve said it. They were atrocious on the glass when they last met. What do they need to do, Clark, to change that in this game?
Well, a couple of things. One, they need more bodies in the paint. I mean, you got to have more bodies in the paint. And then you got to be ready to box out. They left 1 or 2 guys on an island down there, and you can't do that. That's not going to work. Just one shot hasn't tickled the twine here in the 4th, and he's taking this game over.
Rose passes to Noah. Rose attacking. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over.
Here's Ball. Again, Indiana.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Outside Rose. He kicks it to Noah. Sinks it. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Oh, that is a massive shot.
You know it is. He's stepping right into the spotlight. He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense has done, they haven't been able to find an answer to stop him. And he's had an answer for every defense he's seen.
Ranger against Dang. He feeds it to Rose. Knocked away. Stolen by Granger. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop.
Time running low here. They need a hoop.
Yeah, score quickly and then foul him right away.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right at his face. Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a
It has just been announced that you have been named